What's up, y'all? Welcome to Chantel's Beauty Talk, and today it's really going to be money talk because I have two women today that are going to talk about investing your money. They're going to talk about how you get to the bag and how to not miss out on that opportunity. What's up, guys? I'm Chantel, and as I always say, beauty's on the inside, beauty's on the outside, and of course, beauty is loving yourself. I don't know what women would not want to love themselves by buying themselves stuff. And this is for not only the ladies, this is for the men too. So if y'all about y'all paper, if you're about your bag, these two women that are coming on my live today are going to tell us how we get to the bag even more. What's good, everyone? Thanks for your support. Go follow the Chantel's Beauty Talk page. It is right on my main page, on the hard page, and there's a link that goes right to the Beauty Talk page. I'm trying to grow these followers, y'all, because eventually we will be transitioning to the official page, and trust me, we have some really good guests coming up for the fall. Hey Steph, hey everyone, how are you guys? Today is the money talk, y'all. If y'all about y'all bag, listen, we're going to show y'all how to get to it. Y'all missing out today. Hey, Rashida. Hey, everybody. I'm waiting for my guest. So the first guest, shout outs to DST. Oop. I said that kind of fast, but shout outs to Khadijah. Shout outs to TK. Shout outs to my chapter. And then shout outs to her business partner Aisha. She's young. She's thriving. And they're both from Atlanta. So I'm just waiting for them to come on. Hey, Kalina, how are you? How's everyone? Let me see if I can find the two ladies. But is anyone into investing? I'll start off with that, and then if you do, what are you currently putting your stocks into, or if you're doing foreign exchange? Oh, I see Lourdes is in here. Oh, okay. Let me know. Shout outs to Lourdes. She's on here too. She's another woman who trades, and let me tell you, she's definitely made her goal. I see you, Aisha. I'm gonna get ready to pull you up so we can talk about how I can get some more shmoney, because I definitely need some more. I mean, I can't never have enough stuff. So Aisha, I am looking for you, sis. My ladies. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so glad to see y'all. I'm so glad, Khadijah, for the red lip. Thank you.
Yes, I really tried today. I really did.
And Aisha, you look beautiful too.
You do too.
Thank you. Okay, so before y'all got on here, of course I had to say, you guys are women who trade. You guys get to the bag. I've been putting the money bag all week long because I can't stress it enough and how important it is. But you guys are a little more well-rounded in this area. So I'm gonna need y'all to help everyone else out if they're not into this. You know, we try to spend some money. Well, some shmoney. Okay. So Aisha, go ahead first and introduce yourself. Just top line.
Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you all for being on this live. My name is Aisha Simmons, and I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia, a full-time student at Georgia State University. My major is finance, and I have a minor in marketing. And I've been trading for about a year now. I started August 2019. So very excited to just talk about my journey and exactly how you can get started with my business partner here today. And so I'm very excited.
Khadijah.
Okay, so I'll go next. So yes, my name is Khadijah Peak. I currently reside in Atlanta, been here since '09, but not claiming it yet. I'm originally from New Jersey.
Oh, yes, Jersey.
Yes. I met Aisha some years back, probably when she first got to Atlanta. She was super young. But now life has come full circle, and we are now business partners in the trading game. Been running up the bag since May with Aisha, And
yes,
I'm excited to be able to share all the great deets with you guys. The do's and the don'ts, the pluses and the minuses, all the questions we get tonight. I can't wait to talk more.
Yes. Okay. So even though you guys are based in Atlanta, on the good old the ATL, is this available for what you guys are doing? Because you're women who trade.
Yes.
So, let me just say, pertaining to only you guys, because we all know anyone can do stocks anywhere. But if people are trading with you and learning how to do it with you, they can do it from another state, correct?
Yes.
They don't have to be in your vicinity.
No.
Okay.
That's the beauty
Perfect.
of trading via your phone. You can be anywhere in the world and be able to make a dollar. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you got into foreign exchange, stock, and investing your money, because those three things are actually like the biggest things that us adults need to learn about. And if you're not doing it already, we're encouraging you all together that you definitely should do that, because you can't just save your money in a little piggy bank. I know you said that before, Khadija. I know you said that to Aisha. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So I started trading. Being in college, the only thing you're taught is to get a good job that's going to pay you at the most 6 years, and that's kind of like the lifestyle. And so I was told, well, if you want to be a millionaire, you're going to have multiple sources of income. And so I said, well, if I have multiple sources of income, it's not like I can clock into 7, 8 jobs. I'm going to have a type of source where I can make it easily in my sleep, in my phone, somewhere. And so once I was approached this opportunity to trade and I can do it from my phone, I said, well, this is a great experience for me to make money, also an investing opportunity and another source of income where I don't have to pay for. And once I actually began, I just saw like a whole different perspective about life and about money. And I realized that just with this opportunity, I can also teach people how to do the exact same thing. There's a lot of college students like me, whether they're my age or older, we can all do it. So I felt that I came in for the money, but I stayed for the growth.
Oh, I like that. Okay, Khadija, that was your turn.
So for me personally, I am on a different spectrum, right? And that's the beauty of us.
Yeah.
The different age groups talk to this opportunity. For me, I'm out of school for some time now. Been working as a national account manager, managing 2,000 stores of my product across the country. And one day in my sleep, I was just perusing through social media, came across social media, and saw an opportunity that spoke to me, right? And so from there, I kind of met with her and sat and talked and just really she was so transparent, explained to me what Forex trading is about. And it connected for me because I have a finance background. But you don't have to. That's the one thing I want to point out is that Aisha is a finance teacher. I have a finance degree. But you don't have to be financially sound to learn how to trade. Like I said, it's just having the phone and having the drive. And most of all, having that mindset. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, but not many people have the mindset and the drive to get there. And so for me personally, anybody who knows me knows I'm about having multiple streams of income, making 4, 5, 6, 7 ways. And right now, I think this today would account as my 4th stream.
Yes. And you're living in ATL. You're not living in Jersey where the taxes are super, super sky high. So you really got the bag out there.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have a question for both of you. So I don't know who would go first. So it's up to your discernment. So you guys have a trading group. What investment group are you guys a part of together as a whole?
Trade House Investment Group. Yep.
Okay. And then under there, I know you both have your individual groups under this investment group. So do you want to talk a little bit about your different groups?
Yes. So within Trade House Investment Group, I have a group inside that called Road to Riches. And it's still the same blueprint. It's still the same system. It's just that once you become that independent business owner within this business, you just kind of come with your own team name. But on the the same spectrum of things.
Got you.
I do want to point out is that the beauty with Chantel's Beauty Talk and just this conversation today, I'm for women empowerment, and the fact that for me personally in my group, it just happened to fall this way, but now I'm kind of driving that train that everyone in my group is a female with the exception of one, right? And so,
wow.
Yeah, and so that's where I'm starting to really kind of hone in is the fact that in Trade House, they are breaking records for women being in this industry. And it always has been in the past. As you guys know, when you think of Wall Street, you think of the men in the suits and the men driving the entire the force. But that's also kind of created that magnetic attraction for me to Trade House is that, one, you're earning while you're learning, and two, women are running the show. And I need to be in like-minded spaces with women who are getting to the bag.
First of all, I love the whole women empowerment thing. For sure. It's all about building each other up. But I have a question for Aisha though, because I know Khadijah, you said you have an exception for one, which you have a male. But Aisha, do you have any males in your group?
Mine is majority male, surprisingly.
Okay. It's that polarizing. That's why I like having this conversation because we are literally having a visualization of both different sides of the spectrum.
Got you. I think that's awesome, guys. If you're in here and you're loving this conversation, because I talked to them before we even got on this live, and I was intrigued. I loved everything about what they were saying. Send them some hearts, and if you have questions about investing, if you have questions about stock, if you have questions, period, they're your ladies. So go ahead and put your questions in the question box. All right. So the next question is, how do you even get started in regards to you guys with doing all of this stuff? Because obviously we want people to support you guys and what you're doing, of course.
So it's just a link that we send you, and we give you a walkthrough of how to sign up. And as soon as you sign up, there is initial investment that you have to pay, and that initial investment will be $235. Now, that $235 includes a whole educational course and also products that you will use in order to be a profitable trainer and just learn how to be a smarter trader. And $35 is honestly probably the cheapest thing compared to what you're actually getting access to. And then within your first week, and honestly, in your entire process, you'll be on training, and you'll get to trade, you get to make money, and you just are really just learning a skill. But the benefit of this, if you are a college student, you're not going to get that doctor's salary until you become that doctor. But here, you can literally get paid the same amount as a master trader who's been doing it for years. Your first week, because of simply the cheat codes and the education that we're providing you.
Okay. Let me give you a quick shout out too, because Aisha, you're in your youthful 20s. I don't gotta say how old you are on here. But I have to shout out to you because I know when I was in college, I was relying on wait, what are the checks called? I don't
on-campus jobs to sustain my life.
Girl, and the refund checks, okay? So I had to think a minute, what the checks were called because I ain't been in school for so long. But yes, if you're like me or anyone else, I definitely relied on those refund checks for sure from those loans.
Work study, that's what it's called. Yeah, work study. Yeah.
Oh, work study, or if you weren't doing work study, of course, everyone definitely worked outside or off of campus. So I think that's awesome and you're making 10 times more. Yeah. What I thought I was making back then. I thought I was making good dollars. So, Khadijah, do you want to also answer any questions about how do you get started with your particular group?
So it's the same thing because we're all under the same umbrella. With the link and the Learning Academy. I just want to emphasize that a lot of times people hear stock market or they hear Forex or they hear trading or they hear those words and they get afraid because they're like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to declare is that my first day after Aisha showed me, how to sign up and, fund my account, the next probably week after that, just from listening to her and in her group receiving the trades for Forex,
Yeah.
I was able to earn close to $500 on one day of just listening to Aisha and getting her trades and getting them from the master trader. So that's the beauty of this entire business, is that it is not one where you need to have so much business acumen or so much finance knowledge to know
Right.
how to make the money. But don't get me wrong,
Okay.
you can learn as well. If you are one who's like, I need to soak up all the knowledge I can because I want to be able to, I have to digest anything I'm spending my money on. So I
Right.
do, but definitely take advantage of both ends of the spectrum.
Got you. Okay, I have a question, and then I'm going to follow up on what we were just talking about, because I want to shout some people out. So shout outs to Danny. She asked, how much do you need to start and how often do you monitor? And you said it's $275 to start, right?
$35 initially, and then there is a monthly subscription, which is $175. So you pay the $235. Next 30 days is when the $175 kicks in. But there are multiple ways where you're not necessarily worrying about that monthly.
Okay. And while you're doing this, what about the time that you're investing in this? And I hope I'm answering this right for the one factor, but how much time should someone actually be, behind their phone or computer?
So the trainings that we have are all an hour long at the most. They're
Okay.
5 and 9. And so I definitely suggest to get on all of them as much as you possibly can, and because repetition calls for recognition, and so the more as you get on them, the more that you're going to understand and know it. But on
Right.
a day, if you're just trading, it takes you 30 seconds to plug into a trade, and then you just allow it to just sit up and make you money. It's not something that you necessarily have to monitor, but if you want to, it could be an all-day thing, and you can honestly choose when you want. Some people choose to trade just in the mornings. They get their profit and they dip. Some people
Got you.
trade at night. They get their profit and go to sleep. So it all depends on your schedule, your personal schedule, and then whatever you choose when it comes to this.
Okay. So anyone who may be, because I know people were talking about the intimidation, right? When they hear like these big words, and they're probably like mind blown, right? But if someone's investing their first 275 and they're under the impression and they know that, okay, I have to make sure that I have to make 175 to make my monthly payment. Does someone make that back in one trade, or like what does someone have to do to actually make a profit off their first time starting to trade?
So, you want to answer?
So in terms of profit, it's just a reiteration of when you receive a trade, let's say you pay your initial $235 to sign up, right?
Yeah.
The actual 174 does not transact until 28 days of you being earning and learning. It will happen 28 days later. So I always say set a daily goal of trading, right? You also set a time goal. If you know your schedule, I have many teachers in my group. Almost probably 90% of my group are people that are working individuals. And so go over with them before you even get into the game. Like, think about the time that you have. Of course, everybody's kind of working from home right now, most of the population. Yeah. But you don't want that to absorb your full day. So you want to have that designated time. That's number one. But to speak to, it paying for itself, in that day time frame, 174, to me personally, is a drop in the bucket. Like, that could happen in one trade. And the way the trade is executed, you get your parameters up front. So you don't have to watch it. It will tell the system when to take you out or when to stop you from, etc. So I think it's not as complex as people think. And in terms of executing profit of that fee of the 174, that's definitely plausible.
What do you say to those folks who may, like, let's just say they already have stock, right? Or some type of investments, but they're paying someone else to do it for them, like a Morgan Stanley per se, right? What do you say to those people? Like, should they be doing both? Should they consider doing this and maybe like having someone else do it, or do you think that someone should probably only do or gear towards doing one option?
So I have had people tell me, well, why I do stocks or I trade options. And one thing
Right.
I learned about that is it's quicker to do this. It's quicker.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I made $100 over 6 months in my Robinhood.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you can make that in 6 minutes.
Right. So you can,
Okay, yeah.
you're already into the investing thing. I mean, why not? You know, this is just one other option that could be. So I always people that can do both. And I don't like the whole giving your money to this person. Some people ask me, well, can I give you my money? You just put it in the MetaTrader. No, because honestly, I want to be in control of my own money and use
Right.
And the thing is, I'm very passionate about people actually learning the skill. Because once
Got you.
skill, you're good. The foreign exchange market is not going anywhere. So once you learn it and you learn how to maneuver in it, you're set. So
Got you.
where my mindset is.
Got you. So now that I know you're talking about other people asking, can you take my money so I can make a quick dollar, right? What do you think about susus? Because I'm gonna be honest, I done been asked from so many people to do these susus, and I've just been, and every person I trust them as a person, but I have not jumped in because I just like, you got to spend $500 to get into a pot or a group, and then on top of that, you got to bring someone else in. Is, I haven't been quite comfortable with that, but I wanted to get your gauge on that too, since we're talking about just dealing with other folks and dealing with money.
Mm-hmm. So for me personally, I'll just be transparent. To me, it is equivalent of a savings account. I mean, if you calculate the way everything breaks itself down, and
right.
I'd rather deal with the bank who's federally insured than a person who could just run off with your money. And not to say that that's what happens every time, but there's no guarantee that they can't run off with your money. You might know them.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But as things start to add up, the risk, starts to get higher. Whereas, having your money in the bank in a savings account compared to a susu, I put X amount of dollars in my savings account every week or every month. It adds up to be the same. I cash out of the savings account at the end of the year to use it for something else. It's the same thing, but it's gaining interest and it's not being held in someone else's hand that could possibly run with your money.
Facts. Okay. So I love this conversation. So, all right. What would you say to certain people, right? For the fact that, what would you do with your first $500? Like when you reach your first 500, like what does that go into? Do you automatically cash out, or does it have to stay somewhere? Like when did you first take out your money out of your account?
So I always tell people when you're trading to have a certain trading plan. Let's say you funded up with $100 and your goal was to get to 500. You can put it in your trading account and just let it grow, or you can withdraw it, or the broker account that we use is like a wallet. You can keep it in that wallet and you can grow that as you're growing your trading account. So it's really up to you and your plan. For me, for instance, like I grew an $80 account to $800 within a month and a half. And I just plan to keep that growing. But then I also have about $200, $300 in my internal transfer wallet that I just keep there as like a savings.
Right.
So it's all,
yeah.
And how you want to move. But one thing that is beneficial with trading is you can pay yourself anytime. You don't have to wait till a Friday or a Wednesday. The market opens today. If you make profit today, you can withdraw that into your wallet today. So it's your choice.
What did you do when you first, like, for instance, I just want to know, I'm just curious. When you made your first, your earnings, when you first started trading, what did you do with it?
So actually, when I made my first 500, that was honestly around the time I had a balance due on my tuition, and I was able to pay that off with my trading profit.
Okay. Whew, child, I'm still paying loans.
Yeah, for mine.
Khadijah, what did you do with your first 500? Or not 500, just say your first earnings, because it could have definitely been way above that, I'm sure.
So again, to show the difference, you know, where Aisha is in school and where I am, me personally,
Yeah.
it went into another investment, like
Right. Mm-hmm.
on you before, back into my house, help to build equity by making a little, you know, and beautifying my landscaping. So personally,
That's important.
yeah, and increasing another investment that I'm sitting on. So for me, it's all about flipping the bag 3, 4, 5 ways. Yeah.
Okay. For someone who may say, is this a pyramid scheme? Because I wanted to address that. That kind of slipped my mind like a couple of seconds ago, but I did want to address that fact, because this is not the case at all, guys. And I did want to like go ahead and put that out in the atmosphere, because someone may think, okay, well, why should I do this? Now, obviously, like, these are true testaments. I do know these ladies. I mean, I know I trust you guys and what you're saying, but do you want to address that as well from your end about the whole pyramid scheme and why that's actually false in this circumstance with your trading groups?
Yeah, I'll let her go first.
So with the pyramid scheme, I think of like a Mary Kay, where you are paid if the people that you enroll are like selling the products as well. But we're giving you two options. We're giving you an option. You come in, you can just strictly trade. You don't have to tell anybody about this. Or the other option is, yes, of course, build a business with this. Now, one thing also about a pyramid scheme is it's really hierarchy level. Like, no one is going to ever pass you. And in this opportunity, that's not the case. I can a certain level, and just because somebody may have a larger network than me, or they work more than me, they can pass me up. And in the pyramid scheme, that's possible. And as again, building over here is optional. You can be silent, make your money in silence. Most pyramid schemes doesn't go like that.
Yes, that's just like the susus that we were just talking about.
Exactly. What you make depends on if you bring somebody else in. And so the one thing I encourage people, especially when I'm talking to people, this is a recruitment type of situation. It's a situation that you yourself need to be serious about, because again, anytime you put an investment in something, nobody's going to buy a car and not test drive it. Nobody's going to buy a house and not visit it first. So my thing is, you always want to, you know, get into something, especially in terms of the pyramid scheme. I just want to address that first. But I don't think anybody can come in if they're not comfortable and try to do the business side of it. I encourage everybody, if you are green, just trade. Don't get into it and think you can build this business and get, you know, excited about the business opportunity aspect of it. But we will speak to that later, because that is important to expose. I saw the business side of it myself, because I personally get everybody and their grandmother come ask me finance questions. I am a CFP. I am not licensed by Series 6 or Series 7, but everybody asks me, and I think it's because I've had so much experience with financial instruments, whether you know, rebuilding someone's credit or learning about, you know, the risks that you take inside of the stock market, or what do I do in my 401k? Everyone asks me. So because of that, it's natural that it will come to me naturally to be like, you know what? I think that I could start to educate other people on how to trade in the forex market. And so that's why I took the opportunity of being an IBO very seriously. But it is not required for you to come in this business. I don't make any money off of you trading. If you want to come in and trade, you can come in and trade, and I can teach you for free. Like,
exactly. Okay, we had some really great questions, so I'm going to intervene with my questions, and answer other people's questions, because this is a really great topic, like I said. How much time did it take each of you to really get the hang of trading? Please be as candid as you possibly can.
So when I first came in, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I did not care about being a master trader. I cared about just learning the products and the how to do it.
Yeah.
First. Because again, the investment group is really here to provide you the cheat codes. You don't have to go through all of the obstacles in order to be this master trader. But once I grew my team, and I said, well, I want to actually be able to call out those signals for my team, and I really want to actually learn it and take the time to educate myself. And so for that, honestly, took about a month for me to actually look at a chart, analyze it, on top of practicing it on my actual trading account. So
Right. Yeah.
in a whole month. And then I taught my particular team, and everybody started making money. So honestly, a month. But if you're,
Okay.
it all depends on you. If you're a type of person that can learn something quicker in a week, then it may take you a week. But it all depends on you and just how much of a learner you are.
Okay. Khadija, how long did it take you to learn how to trade?
I would say for me, in the beginning, I'm a very curious person, so I like to try trades without even. I was really risky. I was trying trades without even knowing. But then as
oh gosh,
failing is how I learned, because obviously you don't want to keep losing money. So I realized.
Hold on 1 second. It was just okay. You guys had paused for 1 second. Sorry, I lost y'all for like 2 seconds, and I was like, no. All right, go ahead. I can hear y'all.
No, so there's strategies, but overall, it took me 30. Like literally, we're on the same page when it comes to how long. It took me 30 days to be like, okay, I totally got this. I understand now, and this makes sense, and I can actually teach this to other people. So yeah.
Okay. If you're a leader, if you're let's just say, you know, you have a passion to lead, what are the benefits, I guess, from being in this group before I go to this next question, where you can advance to a bigger level than just trading just to get, you know, obviously make the bag? Like, what other levels are there, I guess, in the bigger hub or the main central hub of this investment group to grow yourself?
So there's a lot of personal development that you will grow within this. And if you haven't had any leadership and you want to grow a team, you're going to learn how to be a leader when it comes to this. And I started caring about others more, and just started realizing that if I wanted to create any success for myself, it's honestly better to help other people create success for themselves, and then it's going to naturally come to you. Not success is going to naturally come to you. But when it comes to like the characteristics and all of that, I mean, you just have to know how to communicate with different people. I mean, I've talked to many strangers and be professional, also be very considerate. And one thing I know within my specific investment group, we decide to move with love. There's a lot of people who have negative thoughts about this, but you still have to just be respectful. I just move with love and kindness. By the end of the day, I've grown very professionally, especially from a sales point, because I'm like, I know, I know how to follow up with somebody. I know how to close. I know how to adapt to people and switch up my selling technique. So that's something that's definitely grown for me. And just from my education, it's definitely helped with both.
Absolutely. What about you, Khadija?
I think for me, so just a little bit about myself. I probably worked every job known to man. I've driven forklifts. I've sold cars.
Oh, I didn't do that yet. I didn't do that.
So in terms of adaptability, that is my secret sauce, right? And so I can pretty much adapt in any environment. But to being a leader and leadership, I think it's been instilled because I played sports all my life. And so a sports player, at one point or another, you're going to have to lead. Whether you're the point guard or you're the center, you at one point or another, you're going to have to lead. And about being in those clutch moments, being able to, I've had people over the past 5 days personally reach out to me and say, can you train me on this? And I'm just like, okay, got to get my mind right, got to understand who I'm speaking with, got to understand who my audience is, and then I put my regimen together. So again, it's not built for any and everybody to be able to run their own business, but in terms of where I am in my life, I think that I bring a lot of hindsight to the table, especially now that this is a new piece to my puzzle.
Right.
With trading Forex, I think you get a lot by joining my team because I have so much hindsight.
Got you. I'm glad that you guys have brought up some like great points, because someone is asking the one factor, what is the benefit of signing up with a $275 rather than like Robinhood for free.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
No.
35, as you said, it comes with that mentorship. And one thing about it is you can honestly Google Forex and it's gonna come up with a whole bunch of what is Forex, da, 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 da. But the thing
Right.
is, it's gonna take you much longer and much more money because you're doing it by yourself. Rather, if you come in,
Yeah.
you a one-on-one mentorship. My entire team, they have my number. When you go to class, you don't have that personal connection with your professor. They're giving you a PowerPoint,
True.
books to read, and that's really it. But here, I mean, if you need to call me, text me. We're giving you the education every single day. All you have to do is just click a Zoom link. And on top of that, it's like, if you're in a trade, Aisha, you in this trade? Khadijah, you in this trade?
Yeah.
Okay, you take a profit? Oh, we both down. Like, it's that communication that you can have, and you just have fun with it. You can't do that when you're doing it by yourself. And the thing is, I'm not really, I know a lot of people who said they trade by themselves, and I've always asked them, this is 100% honest. How long did it take you to see profit? Everybody told me at least a year. I saw my profit my first week. Yeah. We're giving you, it's a cheat code of it. And that's one thing about this world today. Like, that's why we have
Right.
so that we can do things quicker, more advanced, and not take as long. So why work harder? The only thing we're doing is working smarter and not harder.
Well, the same person, the one factor who just asked that question, she said she thinks she's ready to make the bag. With that said, I still have more to ask, guys. So this is not gonna be over. But how do people reach you guys, and how do people get signed up if they're eagerly ready to just say, you know what, I love these two ladies so much. They done gave me all my tools, well, partially or quarterly, about why I should trade. I want to do it today.
DM. Just go to our Instagrams, DM, and just let us know. And I would not mind just giving you my number, and we can go from there. Get your journey started.
Yeah.
So I know that when people join your groups, they're gonna be skyrocketing out the sky. But do you want to talk about the importance of not also being too greedy when you start trading, and don't stay in there too long? You gotta take a second.
That's the one thing Ace was talking about with the trading plan. What's so great, again, the difference between Robinhood and what we're doing is, if you notice, everybody now is jumping into Robinhood. If it ain't, it's one person in each household that's like, well, I got Robinhood, I'm good. But what they don't realize is that they're just following the wave, and they're following the popular guys on the block. But the popular guys on the block have recently tanked, right? So what do you do then?
Right.
So I bring this full circle to say, you're getting that peace of mind. You're paying for the education that you get 7 days a week, 4 times a day, and you're also paying for that mentorship. But in totality, I think that for me personally, the people that come on to this opportunity realize profit in a day, sometimes in a week, but you have to have a goal in mind. You have to have a daily goal. And when you hit that goal, like Aisha said, you chill. It could happen in 1 hour.
Girl, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Your goal to be hit. And then at that point you say, let me start my work day. If you're also working,
right?
Or if you're a full-time mom, let me get the kids off to school. Let me make sure I got things in my house in order. It's hit in 1 hour, but you got to have a goal and a plan, because if not, then it becomes a slippery slope. Then you start more towards, am I gambling, or am I
am I really investing and really saving? Well, I mean, I want to say saving too, because the goal is not to spend everything that you're getting. It's to continue your investments, and also keep a bag for yourself, but not to deplete it, obviously.
Yeah. And I always tell people, we're not gambling. This is definitely not
right.
Put $20 in and expect $800 just like that. But when you do see that lump sum of money, just secure, take it, and be comfortable with it. And you're growing your account over time. And we're human, so we're going to be greedy. I've been multiple times, but I've learned the hard lesson. You got to just secure your profit, take it,
Yeah.
appreciative of that. Even if you made $1, be appreciative of that dollar, because at the end of the day, you made it by being in your bed or being in your car, plugging in some numbers on your phone. You can't.
You didn't even have the dollar anyway.
Exactly.
Look, it might be one struggling
Right.
cent in your bank account, but listen, you did not have that dollar. Or you know what? It's just an extra add-on to something else. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's you have a big account, a small account, medium account, it really doesn't matter. It's just something extra. Be grateful for what you are making, because it will grow if you put your all into it, obviously.
Yep.
What's something that you struggle with, or have you struggled with anything, or found something challenging while going through this process, and how have you overcome that?
I'll say for me, not necessarily the trading part, but I think just building my team and getting a lot of people to believe in themselves and understand. I have a lot of people who are coming into this like, I want to quit my job. I hate where I am, or I want something that's going to better me financially and just personally. And I think one of the challenges is just building that team and that trust with others. And for them to just, have that perspective, like, this opportunity honestly is legit and it can work for me. It's all about you putting in the work for it. That has been the biggest challenge, but it's also been a learning lesson for me, because I realized that I can honestly be the reason somebody betters their life or have that certain impact on them. So it's a challenge, but I love the challenge. So that's why I continue to do it every single day.
That's a great mentality, and I encourage you to continue to keep that same mentality, because I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
What about you, Khadijah?
I think my biggest struggle, again, is not the trading aspect.
Yeah.
Like every woman, is juggling your life experiences, right? And so, new opportunity for me that I'm super excited about. That I have one of my flaws is that I go hard or go home, right? So there's no medium. So the medium has to happen in order for things to function in my household. I can't just. I'll get to the point where I let it consume me, and I'll wake up and be like, okay, what's my strategy for the day? Who am I talking to today? And then I know it's 9 o'clock at night, and I probably didn't even eat. Like, and it's not a bad thing. It's just the type of person I am, and I have to find that happy medium where it's okay to not have to put 10 hours here, 10 hours there, and literally use all my hours in a day, whether it's with my regular job or being a wife or being a mom or dealing with dogs or dealing with grandparents, like whatever.
Right.
Is that is my struggle, is finding the happy medium. And I always work every day to try to find that healthy balance.
I think that's a good one too that you just said too, Khadijah, because a lot of us are juggling a lot of things. Like, for instance, I am very well going to join. I don't know whose group I'm joining. I don't know, but I do know. I mean, for me, it's just like, you know what? I just want to support in any way that I can. But obviously, I'm trying to get to the bag too. I don't want to be left behind. But I think that that's great, because everyone juggles like a couple of things all at the same time, and that's extremely hard when you have a full-time job. Maybe, COVID, you went through some major transitions within your job. There's a lot of people who don't have jobs right now due to COVID. I mean, I've been very fortunate, very blessed to keep mine, but it's a lot. And if you have kids, if you don't have kids, you're juggling school. So, guys, listen, if there is a way that you feel like you need to invest in some money, like these two ladies are definitely the real deal for sure. I do have a question in the question box, and this is from Stephanie. Crown is her name. Top money mindset books, IG pages, and people. Are there any people or any books that you guys read to enhance what you're doing as well?
Yeah, so I definitely read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, and then it's a book. It's really for just women, but it's called You Are a Badass. It will
I like that.
Right. Those are the 3 books that I'm currently reading right now that have helped me through this specific journey. And when it comes to Instagrams, I follow Bob Proctor. He is like a
Yeah.
top guy when it comes to mindset, and he's actually one of our educators that we have personal sessions with on our educational platform. And then Bryce Thompson, he is the guy who created Trade House Investment Group, which we are a part of. He's currently still a student at Morehouse College, 24 years old. I
Wow.
couldn't tell you how much he's up right now, but
Wow.
definitely.
He just was featured on Forbes, right?
Yes, they were featured on Forbes, and so was our CEO, Chris Terry, featured on Forbes.
Yeah.
But yes, that's about it. And of course, our Instagrams that you can find.
Yep.
Yes. And got
Huh? Suze Orman, that's my homegirl. That's my sister from another mister. If you don't know her, get to know her. She's thebomb.com when it comes to all things money. And then for me personally, I read every self-help book you could possibly think of. From 48 Laws of Power to Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like
that's a good book.
Yeah. I read every self-help book. I love
Yes.
self-motivation and all those things.
First of all, just so everyone knows that I will post everything that they said today under the IGTV, when it posts to IGTV or on my art page. So I know that you guys mentioned a few books, and obviously, you know, I'm going to tag them as well. So you will be able to follow them, DM them, ask them any questions if you feel very uncertain. They're very great at getting back to you, for sure. We have 2 more questions, I believe. One is, how does this impact your taxes? And then how do you navigate that impact when doing your taxes? That's a good one. That's from Danielle.
Yeah.
Nikki D.
That's a question I get all the time. There's 2 ways to navigate that. But in terms of digital currency and Bitcoin, which is transact, right now the government has not figured out a way to tax that income. All they do is ask you a question.
Okay.
Ask you, did you earn money with cryptocurrency or digital currency? And that's where it stops. Obviously, it's because our current Trump administration, they're kind of don't know what to do. Eventually, the government will figure that part out. Now, in terms of just its totality and income, and it possibly, let's say you do receive a 1099 from any additional stock income that you've earned, just in general, you want to always account for the expenses that you acquired to incur that income. For instance, if you were to go to casino and win $25,000, right?
Right. Yep.
While you were in that casino, you may have won 25 but spent 10. So you really left out with 15. That's how you have to trace it back in your taxes. You have to account for the expenses and the losses that you took before the gains. And so once you do that, it will kind of offset itself. But in its totality, cryptocurrencies are not able to be taxed at this point.
I also wanted to ask you as well about combo trading.
What is it?
Combo trading.
Combo?
Yeah. With stocks, and I know you said the foreign currencies and etc. You guys are doing both, right? Under these groups?
So what we do is we invest in the stock market. That's different, but you can also trade the stocks. So that's what we would do. We would trade it, which is different from investing. Investing is like, if you invest in the stock market, you're only making money if that particular company is making money. But if you trade it, it's just you are evaluating if this particular stock is going up or down.
Yep. Okay. And I see that we have one last question, and then I'll ask my last question, of course. So if you guys have stuff, and if you feel like you need to ask them something, right now is the greatest time because we have about 9 minutes left, but I do want to get some time for them as well. How do you not get scared and run for the hills when you lose money, especially in current times? Because listen, people trying to hold on to their money. They not trying to lose it. Obviously, I know you guys, I feel like you guys are very confident in saying that, you know, if you put the work into it, you'll receive something back. But can you answer that one? Because, what if someone is scared about that, about the, losing, not gaining?
So one thing is, and this will be 100% transparent. Will you lose
Yeah.
money? Yes. But the thing is, you know how to get it back. Not everything is perfect, and I wish it was. If it was perfect, you won't ever lose money. But that's just not the world we live in today. And the thing is, it's proper risk management. Because let's say if you have $100 in your account, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too technical, but if you get into a trade and put too much in that particular trade, that can be the difference in you may losing $10 than $30.
Right.
$10 is going to be definitely easy to get back, but that $30 is probably going to put a nice little dent in your account, and it's going to affect you in getting into prior trades. So it's honestly back to the trading plan. Yes, you'll lose, but you're not going to be losing so much that you can't get it back.
Got you. Someone said, what is the average RRR on the trades?
Do you mean rate of return? Is it ROR or
Yeah?
I'm just reading their stuff verbatimly, but they said RRR.
Rate of return, and I would say minimally. Obviously, it depends on the trade that you're doing, but minimally, it's anywhere upwards of 1 to 200%. Like minimally.
Risk reward ratio.
Oh, risk reward
ratio.
So the risk reward, all right, so you sound like you know exactly what you're talking about a little bit, so I can just get a little technical. But the risk reward, you always want it to be balanced. So if you get into a certain trade, and let's say, okay, the market moves in pips.
Right.
Let's say your profit is at 50 pips, but I would have my stop loss at about 40 or 30 pips. So I'm able to risk just a little amount of risk for a higher reward. So if that's your question, then that's what that is. You want to have a balanced to reward ratio, and what we do is something called lot sizes. So once you get into a trade, your lot sizes are going to affect your risk and reward. So if you get into a certain trade with a lot size, you want to be consistent throughout. So if you have 5 positions, you want to have the same lot sizes. So just in case you have a 0.01 on one trade, then if you catch 50 pips on one trade and then you lose 40 pips on the other trade, you're technically still up because it's the same lot size and you caught just a little bit more pips in the other trade. So that answers the question.
And I think you did because I see him. He said anything over 1/1 is good. 1/1 is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is next for you guys? Because you guys started your groups. How many people? You said you have like 300 people in your group, Aisha?
Currently, right now, it's 250.
Okay, 250. And then how many people are in your group, Khadijah?
I have 15 in mine.
15. Oh, I see that there's another question. All right. I'm gonna get to your question too, Dan, before we log off. What is next for Aisha and Khadijah in regards to where you are now? Because you guys are doing fabulously, but where you're gonna go as a step higher to excel and then excel your growth.
This year, I really want to impact 500 more people when it comes to trading and also helping them build their businesses. Of course, finish school, but this is something I feel as though is my passion. And before this, I've always said I want to be able to service the people in a financial and a marketing way. And boom, this dropped in my life, and I was able to do both. So more people make hella money from their phones and continue to also build that residual income and help them build their business and honestly retire people before the age of 25. That is my goal.
Dang, I miss this generation. I wish I was. They are like, you get into the real bag. What about you, Khadijah?
So personally, I'm always big on building kind of a dynasty. So for me, I want to use my knowledge to obviously continue to pour into others. I've been doing that. I feel like the universe is starting to flood people. Starting to reach out to me to ask more about the opportunity. But in total, I would like for this opportunity to allow me to pour into another business, that opportunity I'm looking into, which is into the restaurant.
Okay.
So I would like, right now I have
Ooh.
a 9-to-5 job. My husband and I have a new business venture we just started. And
Okay.
Peak Financial, which is, I teach budgeting to high school students. And,
okay.
And then this opportunity would allow me to eventually just walk away from that 9-to-5 and say, come on down, this little, brunch spot that's hot and, everything nice. So that's what
I'll be there. I'll be there.
And about what Khadijah said, just use it as a vehicle. I don't want to Forex a girl forever. Or if you like to sing, you like to draw, or you want to be a race car driver, you want to own a
Absolutely.
As that financial cushion to fund whatever you want. Because at the end of the day, you need that financial cushion. And most people come to me and say, oh, I'm good, and da-da-da-da. I don't know anybody getting money, real money, that does not want to make more money. There's always
girl.
more. But
listen.
It honestly doesn't replace any passions. You can do this and do whatever you want to do. I have rappers, actors, models, teachers, moms, anybody you can think of, people in the military that trade. So it's definitely possible.
I think this is absolutely great. I'm definitely, like I said before, I'm going to onboard because I need a fourth income. So I'm with you, Khadijah, on this all the way about adding on the revenue streams. I need to make money while I'm still sleeping additionally. The last thing I do want to ask, because I know Danielle did say this, she says, is any portion of the month of $175 going towards the money that you trade with at all? Just for the people before we log off soon.
So no, the investment is what you are literally paying to get access to the education platform.
Yeah.
Separate transaction that has to happen when you're actually funding up your account. Now the minimum is $10. You can literally put $10 in your trading account and just grow that. But I always $50, $100 really to get started. But no, that's completely separate.
Got you. Any last words from you ladies who trade? This was so great. I mean, I learned so much today. I hope you guys learned a lot as well.
The one
that
thing
are on here
is, if any of you have dreams of becoming a millionaire and growing your residual income, then definitely keep that mindset and hang around those individuals that are getting to the bag digitally. So millionaire mindset is all about being driven, manifesting what you want, and making it happen.
Yes. Okay, Aisha, close it out.
And I just want to again thank everyone for just tuning in. And honestly, exactly what Khadijah said. You don't have to be a math genius, science genius, a finance genius to do this. You just have to have an open mindset. And one thing about it, I realized that it's two kinds of people in this world: those who take risk and those who don't. And the people that took risk, 9 times out of 10, are the 3% of people in this world who are the richest. So take that risk. Okay. Don't be afraid, and
see you at the top.
See you at the top.
Yes. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for coming on here. First of all, I love your energy, your spirit, and I definitely this was a treat for everyone to learn how they can get I should say the digital bag, but either way, it's still translating into money, period. Everyone, if you don't follow me, you can follow me at Chantel, which they're on the live with. And also, please follow my Beauty Talk page, because these same conversations will be going on the Beauty Talk page soon. Until then, thank you. Beauty is on the inside, the outside, loving yourself, and of course, making yourself some money. Until the next time, see you next Sunday. Bye. Thanks, ladies.
Bye.